Hello everyone, Smashing Ender, and welcome to the second official episode of my Triumvirate SMP, playthrough, I guess. You might notice we're in a bit of an unknown location, because this is going to be the location for the Minelympics. As I said, I was gonna pick a random location because the first event would be to come to this location using a map I will provide the contestants. First hero would be first place. Now I just have to flatten the entire area out. So that is pretty much what I'll be doing this episode. Just working on the Minelympics as much as possible. So let's not waste too much time and just get right into it. I already started a little bit before I recorded, but I thought it would be best to do as much of it on video than off video. I'm gonna turn my volume a bit down. Alright, there we go. Because most of it is just me going around and digging. But I can use the time while digging this out to talk a bit more about the Minelympics themselves, actually. And tell you about the games that we'll have. You might notice at the start that there are a few shulker boxes over here. These contain any stuff that I might need. Snow, spectral arrows for a shooting game, some soul sand, which I might use for the maze I mentioned. Some glass, so I can watch the people in the maze. Some sea lanterns for lighting, just wood for chests and stuff. Terracotta for probably design things. Sand for the Ender Pearl launch game. So now all that's left for me is to dig this out. I did forget to take some items with me, so off camera I will return to my base, grab the remaining things I need, and then next episode you see me, I'll probably have more stuff set up over here. Maybe I'll have made a bit of progress, but I'll see when I get there. I think I will try to do most of the building on camera, but flattening the entire area out and preparing it for the Minelympics, it's not the most entertaining thing to watch, so I think that's gonna be the thing I leave for off camera mostly. I just do it this episode because I'll mainly focus on talking about the Minelympics themselves, some of the other plans I have for them, the point system, which I'll get to right away. And something I'll also be doing in a bit is writing the rulebook, actually, which I'll be placing at SD, like I mentioned in the first episode. Looks like TH just logged back on. He went away for a bit, and this game crashed earlier. Now the point system is gonna be quite simple, or well, as simple as I could think. But I had separate plans for it, but I think I'm gonna go with. First place gets 5 points, second place will get 3 points, third place gets 1 point, anything lower you get nothing. Which means that if you win the first game but then lose the second, you can immediately get taken away from the first 3 spots if other people play good enough. Of course, if there's a tie in the score, I will have a backup minigame for a tiebreaker, which will be untieable, because it will be a dual minigame, but that is yet to be constructed. The only minigame that I might, I'm just gonna stick with minigames actually. The only game that will be constructed off camera is probably the maze, so people can't look at the patterns and cheat themselves to a victory. And I think that most of the minigames will be in this open flat area. I think what I plan on doing is that the boat race will go around the area itself. And I will of course give people in with the boat race probably a few bow and arrow, so they can sabotage other players. Because otherwise it's just whoever starts first and makes the turns the best wins. But I want it to be a little bit more about skill and sabotage. I want to see what people will do to others to win. I mean, if you manage to kill someone during the race, they are guaranteed last place. But Whether you can actually do that is a different situation. I myself will of course be watching all of this go down in real time and recording it as well. That's as much as possible. Of course, getting everyone in one place at the same time for things like this isn't exactly the easiest thing you can do on the server, but I'll do my best to plan it out properly, which should work out. Just build everything first to worry about actually playing it later. I might also either finish speedrun on this server itself and actually build it in survival this time, even though it's gonna take forever. I'll probably see if I can just live stream harvesting all the materials I need, and then I'll build the thing off camera, because the speedrun game itself still has many secrets to many people, and I for one like to keep it that way. The difference between speedrun and the Minelympics is that I have to be less secretive about it, because speedrun is based on dealing with whatever you get shown in the moment. You can't train for it, but the whole point of the Minelympics is that you can. I mean, some of these are gonna be hard to train for. I might throw a luck situation in here somewhere, but for things like the Ender Pearl throw or the boat race, the PvP battle, you can actually train for those, and I highly suggest my contestants do that as well, because otherwise people that don't train might have the disadvantage, but that's on them, not on the contestants themselves. I mean, if you don't train, go for it. If you think you can win with you doing that, feel free, but I don't exactly support it. If you are gonna try and win the prize, might as well put in some effort, because you are not walking away with the prize without effort. I mean, you have to put in effort for the final game, for final event itself, which is the hidden bases I talked about. But I'll see how everyone does with that when the time gets there. This episode might be a little bit boring for most people, because it's just me mining dirt and stuff mostly. But I'm about to start. Well, there's not a lot different I can do right now, because until this area is properly flattened and ready for everything, because I know I'm gonna have to flatten it pretty far out, because as I showed in the single player world, you can throw that Ender Pearl really far with Riptide, and I don't want people to land outside of the judging zone, and just because they do too good, I don't want them to get disqualified for that. I don't want people to suffer from success like DJ Khaled. That's because that would be a little bit unfair. So I'm just gonna make sure, and of course test, that you can't really overdo it. Also, one thing I want to do for the Trident game is make it so you can't like throw it over there somewhere if you have to go that way. I'll make a little tube you throw out of, or something like that. I'm still working that one out. I know I want to do something like that, so you can't accidentally throw like really far out. You have to kind of stick with a certain direction to avoid people going too much to the left or too much to the right, because I cannot make the sand landing zone infinite. I just have to make sure people have a fair chance of landing in it. Which, if they don't, that's just too bad, I guess. But I want to make sure it's not my fault at all. Because, yeah. Don't want this to seem rigged or unfair. This is a fair game. Everyone has an equal chance of winning. And I want to keep it that way. Some people might be better at one part of this than at another. And that's fine. I mean, you don't see people dealing with every part of the Olympics either. The only difference is you have to, in this one. If you're playing all of them, and not just one or two. And there's no avoiding that. Of course, I did make this a little bit harder on myself, because the plan is that people actually live near here for a while. I mean, I'll only give them a small tent to live in, but if they so choose, they can of course build themselves a house, upgrade this house, and I will have a small prize for the best, best living situation anyone sets up here. It'll be a nice landmark on the server. So if in a while when I go back here to check it out, it'll be a nice look. I will of course remember the location of this place, but I will not show it in the video to avoid people from cheating. All they get is a map, and they gotta use that to get all the way from spawn to here. And I don't care if that's a really far walk. You get yourself food along the way, you can gather a small bit of materials, but nothing from your base, nothing from shops, nothing from anything else. As long as you get it on the way, it's fine, but anything else is off limits. But spending too much time on your way here to gather stuff will of course have the risk of you losing the race. So it's a bit of a high risk out of art situation, because gathering good stuff for your secret base to make it look as good as possible and earn those double or triple points can put you in the lead easily. But I'll let the people decide what they want to do on that when it gets there. It is nice to have a shovel that mines this fast over here. I should have definitely taken an ender chest though. And I have to find my way to a portal. And I don't feel like going through the trouble. I didn't think that one through. I mean, I might just make sure I get everything next time and live here for the next few episodes until I have everything set up and ready. I will be the first house here compared to the other contestant houses that will pop up in due time. Also, you might notice I'm leaving all the trees floating, but that's because I plan on taking them down later. I might see if I can still record me mining out the rest of all this when I continue it, because I'm not gonna spend 20 minutes recording myself mining this and talking about the Minelympics. So I think that's gonna be about it for now. I will probably upload at least 3 videos today, which you've probably already seen if you finish this one. And I've already run out of space in the dirt chest. Awesome. But I will see if I can record at least 3 episodes today. Maybe I'll record a bit more for the next episode as well, just to get it out of the way. Might spend most of it working on this though. I will have to find a way to prevent too many animals from intervening with the Minelympics though. Didn't think that through entirely yet. Before I call it off though, I'm gonna give you a few reasons why I picked this specific location. One of which, the forests. There's a lot of trees here, and the contestants will probably need wood and stuff for their bases. Also the little beaches over here for like sand for glass and stuff. There's bees, so you might be able to start a small honey farm and use honey for some redstone contraption. Gravel for like flint and stuff. There's a, I think that's a ravine or a cave. Let's check. I forgot I'm not wearing my armor. Let's quickly check it out. Yeah, it's just a cave, but who knows what's down there. There's fish, there's pretty much everything you'll need to make a nice looking base. There's some nice caves around. The mountains are pretty nice. You can gather stuff here easily, and I will give them free access to everything I gather from mining out the humongous chunk of land over here, because they might need some of it, so it's only fair. They have full access to all the dirt they could possibly need. Well, anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode. So, goodbye.